So welcome to part 2. We were talking about microglia in the other class. So can you remember anything from that class? The guardians of the brain. Microglia, the guardians of the brain security guards basically, and the cleaners, right? So think of them like the tiny immune cells that live in your brain 24/7, guarding your brain and cleans up if any toxins or any damage is done. Okay, so what do they do here? Eat dying cells. Number one, it eats up the dying cells. If a brain cell dies, then what will microglia do? They swallow it so that it doesn't rot and harm others as well. So one cell, if a brain cell dies, microglia will immediately swallow it up so that it doesn't rot and harm other cells as well. So that is the eat up the dying cells mean. Next, it cleans up the debris. Next is it cleans up the debris here. How they remove the waste, broken pieces and any junk floating in the brain. So it basically cleans up the brain debris. Next is it removes bad protein clumps. It removes any bad protein clumps. By getting rid of the mishap proteins that cause the diseases like Alzheimer's. So it completely removes all of these bad protein clumps. Next is it patrol for germs or toxins, which is the surveying for the any harmful substances, germs and toxins. Okay, always scanning for any viruses, bacteria or harmful substances, and it attacks them if it finds any. That is the point here for surveying for harmful substances. These are the 4 guardian points here of microglia. Next is oligodendrocytes. Now what is oligodendrocytes? Do you remember anything? Do you have any idea? Okay. So oligodendrocytes are the CNS insulation crew. Right? They are the CNS insulation crew. They are the neuroglial cells which produce the myelin sheath around the nerve fibers in CNS. So they are the neuroglial cells and they produce the myelin sheath around the nerve fibers in CNS. That is oligodendrocytes, also known as oligodendroglia. Now if you break down the name, oligo means few, dendro means the branches, cyte means cell. So cells with few short arms. This is how you can remember. Oligodendrocytes are the cells with few short arms. Okay. Next, where do you find them? You find them only in brain and spinal cord, which is in CNS. Okay. Well, what are the functions of it? There are 2 main jobs of it, oligodendrocytes. First one is it wraps myelin around the CNS axon. Okay. Myelin is nothing but a fatty insulation that makes signals jump fast. Right? You remember saltatory conduction? Same thing happens here. Saltatory conduction. You have to remember that so that you can compare and correlate. Okay. Now key difference from the PNS. What is the key difference from the PNS? One oligodendrocyte can wrap many axons at once, like one worker insulating 20 wires. That is the key difference from the PNS. Okay. Now here one thing you can note down is Schwann cells do this job in PNS for you. Okay. You remember in Schwann cells, the myelin insulation takes place, the fatty insulation. So Schwann cells does that in the PNS. But they do not exist in CNS. So oligodendrites cover for them here. Oligodendrites do the myelin, which is fatty insulation, whereas Schwann cells do that in PNS. Okay, now give structure to CNS. First is wrap the myelin around CNS axon. Next is it gives structure to CNS. How? Their arms form a semi-stiff mesh. Now their arms form a semi-stiff mesh between the neurons. In simple way, you can remember like a bubble wrap. It protects the neurons and holds them in a place. In real life impact, you can remember if oligodendrocytes get destroyed, like a multiple sclerosis, CNS signals slow down or stop completely, causing what? Weakness, numbness, vision problems, right? That is the functions of the oligodendrites. So this is oligodendrites for you. Now this is the image of the oligodendrites. Now can you observe anything? The diagram shows you how your brain wires get insulated as you grow up. Okay. Now baby neuron. In baby neuron, what can you see? No insulation is done yet. Just a bare axon is seen here, like a bare wire. Okay, a bare axon you can see here. Okay, signals travel slow, like a kid learning to walk. Okay, in slow way you can see the signals traveling. Whereas in teenage neuron, you can see oligodendrocytes add myelin here. The yellow segments, this is myelin, right? The yellow segments are the myelins. Add myelin here. One oligodendrocyte can wrap many axons at once, like an octopus. Whereas in adult neuron, you can see fully wrapped, more myelin. You can see this is fully wrapped with more myelin, which is longer and faster axon. This is longer axon and it is faster as well. Okay, you can see the signals travel faster here. Signals now travel 100 times faster, like upgrading from dial-up to fiber internet. Okay, you remember the old dial-up process and now you have a fiber internet where you can, the signals and the messages can travel up really fast now. So that is how it is in adult neuron. Whereas oligodendrocyte, so how oligodendrocyte works here, it stretches out its arms and wraps them around axons. And wrap them around axon. Can you see here? It stretches its arms and wraps them around axon in layers, like taping an electrical wire. That is the myelin basically. So myelin is the yellow insulation here. So this is myelin for you. Okay. Now gaps between myelin is nothing but the signal jump. You remember, right? Nodes of the Van Weer. That is where the signals jump. So that is the gap. So the gaps between myelin let the signal jump, making it faster. So stage 1, you can see baby neuron, which has no myelin. Result is slow and weak signals here, in this here. And next, you can see teenage neuron, some myelin is present, whereas it is getting little faster here. This is getting little faster here. Whereas in adult neuron, fully insulated, it is fast, strong and efficient signals are passed through. So more myelin, better memory, faster thinking, better skills, all of this matters. So myelin matters here. That's why practice makes you better. Your brain literally insulates the circuits you use. So if myelin breaks, what happens? Diseases like multiple sclerosis takes place. So multiple sclerosis is it happens when myelin breaks, where signals go slow. If myelin breaks, obviously signals will go slow, right? It grows very slow, and at some point of time it will stop. So that is oligodendrocytes for you. Next is peripheral neuroglia cells. So this is peripheral neuroglia cells. So glia outside the brain and spinal cord is peripheral neuroglial cells. The name itself says peripheral, outside brain and spinal cord, right? So these are the support cells for nerves in your arms, legs and other organs. Basically the peripheral nerve system. So in that, first one is the Schwann cells. Okay. And what is Schwann cells here? The PNS insulation plus repair crew. Okay. And the three main jobs you can see for Schwann cells is myelination. First one is myelination in PNS. We have talked about it, about Schwann cells in earlier slides, that it wraps myelin around the PNS axons for fast signals. Okay, what is the difference from oligodendrocytes here? One Schwann cell equals to one segment of myelin on one axon only. So, one worker per wire here. One segment of myelin on one axon only. And what is nerve regeneration? Next job. Myelination of PNS is first job. Next is nerve regeneration. If a PNS nerve gets cut by any chance, then Schwann cells guide it to grow back. So they basically help it to grow back, which is regeneration. As the name suggests, it is the regeneration. So they form a tube for axon to regrow through. So that is nerve regeneration. So point here to be noted is CNS nerves barely regenerate because oligodendrocytes don't help like this. So CNS nerves barely regenerate. Oligodendrocytes do not help to regenerate. It doesn't have the quality of regeneration. Okay. Next is cleanup crew. It has phagocytic activity. It has a phagocytic activity. Now the name itself says phagocytic activity, which means eat up the dead cell debris during any nerve repair, like tiny garbage trucks and all. What do they do? Tiny garbage trucks, it takes away all the debris, all the waste products from each home, right? So that is how it is. Phagocytic activity, eat up the dead cell debris during any nerve repair. So that is Schwann cells. So this is the image of the Schwann cell. Now what can you see here in the image of the Schwann cell? Anything you can observe? Yes, this shows how nerves in your body get insulated. This is all about insulation, right? How it gets insulated. So Schwann cells are nothing but body electricians. Unlike brain cells, your body uses Schwann cells to insulate nerve wires. How it works? Neuron, which is nerve cell, it has dendrites to receive the signals. So they receive the signals. Right? So they receive the signals here. Next is Schwann cells wraps them around the axon like a tape. Now what it happens, the neuron receives it, then Schwann cell will wrap around like a tape, formation of myelin sheath is seen here, right, like a tape around the axon. Start to finish, you can see it keeps spiraling around the axon. It keeps spiraling around the axon from start to finish. You can see that. Now myelin sheath is nothing but all those layers together. It is a fatty insulation basically. So all those layers together is known as, all these layers together is known as a myelin sheath. Okay. Why? Myelin sheath is important. Myelin sheath is nothing but a speed booster. We have talked about it many times that it is a speed booster. So insulated axons send the signals 100 times faster, and that's why you pull your hand from heat instantly. Instantly you do that because of the speed booster which your neuron has. So what is the difference between difference from the brain? Okay, brain or spinal cord, they have oligodendrocytes which wrap many axons, whereas the rest of the body has Schwann cells which wrap one axon each. Oligodendrocytes, many axons. Schwann cell, it is one Schwann cell wraps one axon each at a time. Okay. That is Schwann cell for you. Next is satellite cell. Now satellite cell are the bodyguards for the PNS neuron cell bodies here. So what do? Where do they actually be present? They sit on the outside surface of the neuron cell body. They sit on the outside surface basically. Okay, of neuron cell bodies in PNS ganglia. Like satellites orbiting a planet. How will a satellite orbit a planet? Outside surface, right? So that is how it is, same way. Next, it has two main jobs. First is physical support. Next is control the environment. How do they support physically? It acts like a cushion. Physical support, it acts like a cushion and holds the PNS neurons in place. It helps in holding the PNS neurons in one place. And controlling the environment, it regulates the chemicals in the extracellular fluid around the PNS neurons. And it soaks up the extra potassium and neurotransmitters, etc. all of this. So that is how, while regulating the chemicals, it will control the environment. Physical support, it acts like cushion and it holds the PNS neurons at place, and it controls while regulating the chemicals in extracellular fluid, and control all the neurotransmitters and extra potassium to get back in place, to soak up all the extra stuff. So before this, you can also remember like a quick comparison table of oligodendrocytes and Schwann cell and satellite cell as well. Oligodendrocytes, its location is it's in CNS. Myelin is present, yes, many axons at once. And what is the special talent it has? It has insulate CNS wires. It insulates the CNS wires. Whereas Schwann cells, its location is in PNS. Myelin, yes, one axon at a time. Then what is its special talent here? Insulate. It will insulate and helps the PNS nerve regrow here. Regeneration also takes place in Schwann cell. Next is the satellite cells. Location, obviously PNS ganglia. Not just PNS, in specific PNS ganglia. Myelin present? No, myelin is not present here. What is its special talent here? It guards and cleans around the PNS neuron bodies. Environment, right? It guards, support thing is happening. Then control the environment is nothing but clean around the PNS neuron bodies. So that is satellite cells for you. So this is the image of a satellite cell. Now can you see two helpers here? First is Schwann cell, next is satellite cell. You can see Schwann cell, next is satellite cell. Okay, Schwann cell, blue tubes on the axon. Okay, they wrap around the nerve wire, which is the axon. This is the axon, right? They wrap around the nerve wire. It will make myelin insulation, so signals travel fast. That is its job. Think of it like a plastic coating on an electrical wire. That is Schwann cell for you. Next is the satellite cell. It is the purple cells. These are the satellite cells basically. So they are the purple cells hugging the neuron cell body. This is neuron cell body. So they are literally hugging the neural cell body. So they surround and protect the main part of the cell. Main part of the nerve cell. It will protect the main part of the nerve cell. It also feeds the neuron and controls its environment. It will also feed the neuron and it will feed the neuron and control the environment while cleaning up the waste. That is the satellite cell's job here. So think of it like a bodyguard or caretakers for the neuron's headquarters. So neuron cell body is the headquarters, right? Headquarters. So it is basically What is it's doing? Its body, it is like a bodyguard and caretaker for the neuron's headquarters, neuron cell body. So that is satellite cells. So in simple way, axon, which is a long wire which sends signals, then Schwann cells, they insulate the wire for the speed. Whereas satellite cells, they protect and feed the cell body here, which is the headquarters. They protect and feed the cell body, neuron cell body. So if the neuron is a factory, then the cell body is the main office. Satellite cells are the office staff keeping it running, and Schwann cells are the crew insulating the power cables for it. So this is how all will work together. So your body nerve sends signals fast and it stays healthy also as well. Now a quick table comparison. We were talking about oligodendrocytes, Schwann cell, satellite cell. Locations: CNS, Schwann cell, PNS, satellite, PNS ganglia. Oligodendrocytes, many axons, Schwann cell, one axon. Satellite, it doesn't contain myelin at all. Then special talent, yes, insulates CNS wires. In Schwann cell, it insulates and also helps in PNS nerve regrow. We were talking about regeneration, right? That it is. And satellite side, you can see guard and clean around the PNS neuron bodies, which is the surrounding environment. Now this is the difference of Schwann cell and satellite glial cell image in basic. So Schwann cell, you can see it wraps around the axon. This is axon for you. So it wraps around the axon, which is long nerve wire. Okay, it makes myelin for myelin insulation for speed. That is it. Then satellite, you can remember, it hugs the neuron cell body here. Neuron cell body, satellite cell, it hugs the neuron cell body here. And what does it do? It feeds, protects and cleans the around cell body. It cleans around the cell body, the environment around the cell body. Okay. That is the difference between Schwann and satellite cells. This is how they look. Now oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells. Image of oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells here. Oligodendrocytes, location brain plus spinal cord only. This is brain and spinal cord only. Whereas this rest of the body. Rest of the body. Okay, one cell wraps many axons at once. So here what is happening? Oligodendrocytes, one cell wraps many axons at once. Whereas in Schwann cell, one cell wraps one axon at a time. One cell, one axon at a time. So this is nothing but, if you can see, it looks like an octopus, right? So octopus insulating multiple wires basically. Multiple wires. It is insulating multiple wires at single time. Whereas here in Schwann cell, it is just like a normal worker wrapping one wire at one time. So that is the major difference between oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells, and this is how it looks. So brain uses oligodendrocytes and body uses the Schwann cells. Both are speed boosters for the nerves. So this is the neuroglia for y'all. Thank you for watching.